I will stick with. Then once you found some potential keywords, we need to qualify them. This is step number 2. Here we identify the search volume accuracy as well as the opportunity for us to rank our video. Now remember the keyword I found earlier through the keyword tool, how to create slides in GenSpark AI. We will take this keyword and make sure this is actually a good one. Because maybe there's actually a lot of competition or the keyword isn't relevant anymore. Because maybe there's actually a lot of competition or the keyword isn't relevant anymore. So that's what we will check right now. I'm going to copy the keyword. And open up YouTube, go to the search bar and paste in our keyword right here and then hit search. Yo. See the subscriber count right here. And open up YouTube, go to the search bar, then open up YouTube, paste in my keyword and then hit search. Then look at these results. The first thing I check is the channel size of the top ranking videos. And with the Vidiq extension installed, I can see the subscriber amount right here. So here 8,000. And here 1.7 thousand and here 1,000. Now this tells me something very important. The videos ranking right here are from very small channels. This means that the competition isn't too big, which is a good sign. However, we don't just stop here. Because we have the Vidiq extension installed, we can now see this sidebar on the right side of our screen for additional information. As you can see, it shows us the search volume, the competition, the search term itself, and some extra info about the keyword. It also lists the top channels ranking for this specific keyword right now, along with some related opportunities related to the keyword. However, to make sure there is still active search volume and that the competition isn't too big for a keyword. However, to make sure that there is still active search volume and that competition isn't. However, to make sure there is still active search volume to this topic, and that people still search for this through YouTube search, However, to make sure there's still active search volume for this topic and people are still searching for this phrase through YouTube search, we're not going to rely on the sidebar alone. Instead, what I'm going to do is open up the top 3 videos in a new tab just like that.
Monday CRM.
Now let's open up the first ranking video. Now I need to check if people are actually searching for this keyword right now. And with Vidiq Pro, And with Vidiq Pro, I can see the historical data for each video at the right side of the screen right here. And even though this section might seem small, it's actually super powerful. Because no other keyword research tool shows you exactly how many views competitor videos are still getting right now along with its historical data. We can basically use this to spy on our competitors and see if they're still pulling in views from search. And honestly, if I had to pick just one feature from Vidiq, this would be easily my favorite. Because it lets us see exactly how a video of someone else is performing in real time, which is incredibly valuable data when doing keyword research. Now before we move on, I need to show you something that could save you hours of wasted effort. It's what I like to call the flatline test. It's absolutely critical for avoiding dead keywords. And here's the thing, just because a keyword shows up in Vidiq with decent search volume and competition doesn't mean people are still searching for it today. And this is where creators make a huge mistake that kills their videos before they even start. A few months ago, I was doing keyword research and found this keyword. A few months ago, I was doing keyword research and found this keyword: how to remove rotoscope filter in TikTok using CapCut. A few months ago, I was doing keyword research and found this keyword: how to remove rotoscope filter on TikTok. And at first glance, it looked amazing. All of these channels are quite small. All of these channels ranking are quite small. They have thousands of views each, and their thumbnails look actually quite bad. So what I did, I opened up the top 3 videos once again in a new tab and opened them up. Now remember, this video has over 900,000 views, so it's much. Now remember, this video has over 900,000 views, so it's. Now remember, this video has over 900,000 views, so Now remember, this video has over 900,000 views, so it must be doing well, right? Now look at this graph in historical data. It got a massive spike in the beginning, but is now basically flatlined. Now when we change the views to views per hour over time, we can see indeed an insane spike at the beginning, but right now it's not even showing data because it's not getting any views anymore. Let me check the second video as well, and right here the exact same thing is happening with a lot of views in a short amount of time right here, so we can see as well, and right now 0. This tells us something crucial. This keyword was trending for maybe a few weeks when the rotoscope filter was popular on TikTok, but right now barely anyone is searching for it anymore. The trend is completely dead. If I had created a video targeting this keyword without doing the flatline test, I would have spent hours making the video, scripting for maybe 10 views in total. Now let me show you the difference with a good keyword, so let's go back to our GenSpark AI topic. Now back to the first video ranking on Vidiq right here, we can see that it got quite some views initially, and right now it's flattening off just a bit. And as we can see, it's been uploaded by the official channel of Genspark itself. They might have used the video for advertising or promotions. If we then change the views over time to views per hour, we can see that it indeed dropped a little bit, but still it's getting around 7 to 28 views per hour right now. Now you might think that is not a lot, but like 20 views, now you might think that is not a lot, but 20 views, now you might think that is not a lot, but 28 views per hour is still over 600 views per day, which is definitely solid if you ask me. Okay, so the first video looks alright, but now let's check the second one, which we do by clicking on it. Okay, so the first video looks quite alright. Now let's check the second one right here. Here we can see it's been uploaded from a channel with just 1,000 subscribers. Here we can see it's from a channel with only 1,000 subscribers. Here we can see it's from a channel with just Here we can see it's uploaded on a channel with not even 2,000 subscribers, and it was uploaded just 12 days ago, so we definitely have to keep that in mind. The video only has 36 views. The video has only gotten 33. The video has only gotten around 36 views in those 12 days, and that might not seem like a lot, but again we have to remember that ranking a video can sometimes take weeks or even months. Now looking at the graph, it is quite consistent, obviously not a lot of views. Now when looking at the graph, you can see it is pretty consistent, but checking the views per hour over time as well. Now looking at the graph, we can see it is quite consistent, it's just not having a lot of views, and checking at the views per hour over time as well, it's just not a lot yet. However, when we open up the channel right here and look at the channel ourselves, when looking at the channel itself right here and then going to videos, we can see that they're uploading a lot of how-to topics right here, which tells me they're a classic search channel with how-to tutorials. Their goal is just to rank these videos in the algorithm over and over again, and by clicking on the View Channel Stats tab right here, also powered by Vidiq, we can see they're getting over 180,000 views per month right now with these kinds of videos. For that reason, I don't think we can take the data from this video right here too literally, since it's still very new, only 12 days ago. That looking at the title, it's very similar to our main keyword, how to create slide. But looking at their title, we can see it's very similar to our main title, how to create slides in Genspark AI. Now lastly, let's also take a look at the third ranking video right here. As we can see, this is even from a smaller channel, around 1,000 subscribers, and it has been uploaded around a month ago. The video is titled Genspark AI Slides Does What? Which is similar to our video, but not exactly the same. Now looking at the graph, you can see it's actually getting more views over time, and the trend is consistently going up, which suggests it's getting it from search traffic, which is a good sign. Also, as the channel has just 1,000 subscribers, it's likely that this traffic is not coming from Also, as the channel has just 1,000 subscribers, it's likely that all of this is search traffic. And 600 views in the first month is definitely pretty decent. And when we switch to views per hour over time, it's currently getting about 1 to 2 views per hour. I'd say the data on this channel looks a lot more accurate than the previous video we looked at, and overall I'd say the data on this video is already a lot more accurate than the previous video we checked right here. And all in all, it's performing quite decent. Now this tells me there's not a lot of competition, and the channels, this tells me for our keyword there's not a lot of competition, as the channels are all very small. We confirm there is indeed search volume and relevancy, albeit not so much. Now next up is a crucial step that most people skip. I need to check how many of these top ranking videos right here have my exact keyword in their title. For example, for the first video, create slide decks in seconds, it's not exactly matching with our keyword. To quickly check this for all channels at once, you want to copy your keyword and then hit Ctrl F on your keyboard and paste it in right here. This will show you how many times that exact keyword appears as videos in the title. This will show you how many times that exact keyword appears in the titles of other videos. And in this will show you how many times this exact keyword appears in video titles of other channels. Now in this case it shows 0. Now in this case it shows 0 matches, but now in this case it shows 3 matches, 2 of them from the Vidiq sidebar right here, where we can close, and 1 time from our title in the search bar itself. This means that currently none of the videos are ranking for this keyword. This means that currently none of the videos that are ranking for this keyword are using the exact match in their title. And this is huge. It means that most of the top ranking videos don't have the exact keyword in their title. And YouTube is showing all of them because they're related, but they're not perfectly optimized for this search term. Now this presents a massive opportunity. If I create a video with the exact title, how to create slides in Genspark AI, I'll be more relevant for people who search this than most of the current ranking videos. YouTube wants to show the most relevant results to the searches first, so if I make a video with this exact title, I'm 99% sure I can rank number 1, even with a channel with just 0 subscribers. I hope you can now see why this qualification step is so important. The data inside Vidiq showed us that there is search volume and competition, but you always want to manually check on YouTube to make sure the topic is still relevant and that there aren't too many videos already using the exact same keyword. So the keyword how to create slides in Genspark AI has been qualified. Now don't close this tab just yet, because we can actually use these channels to spy on their other videos and find even more inspiration. For example, let's go back to the second channel ranking we found in these. For example, let's click on the second channel ranking that we found by. For example, let's open up the second channel that was ranking right here on this keyword. Now we already checked their channel stats and it's getting about 180,000 views per month. But next to that is also the trending videos tab, so we can click on this. Here it will show us the most trending videos for this particular channel. For example, how to use Perplexity Labs to create anything, with 29 views per hour right now, or how to use Cluely AI to cheat on your interview with 13 views per hour, and many more topics right here you can now use as inspiration. Now with, for example, this video, how to reverse a video in Canva, we can open this up and then...
Jouw stralend witte lach.
Now for example, with this video, how to reverse a video on Canva, we can open this up right here and then look at the historical data graph and see how consistent this video is. It's definitely a winner. At this point, we could choose to individually check this keyword as well on the search results and see the competition. And of course, we can do this with all the channels that we find. Look what work. And now we can do this. And now we can do the exact same thing for the. And now we can And now we could do the exact same thing for the first ranking video. And now we could do the exact same thing for example, the third ranking channel as well.
Just a week
Look
after
what is
opening
working for them. And basically, let's be honest, legally steal their best. Sorry, I need to do it again. And of course, we can do the exact same thing for also the third channel. Look what is working for them by clicking on view trending videos. And let's be honest, legally steal their best ideas. Then additionally, the outlier score I showed you earlier in Vidiq also appears directly on YouTube. As we can see right here, the most popular videos are all... As you can see, the most popular videos of this channel are all 100x. Now we can use this by going to videos and simply scroll through their videos. Now right here, we can see this one is 0.5, 3.8, 5.1, and the higher it is, the brighter the color. So for example, this one, it's almost 100x and it's a red color. So by doing this, you can easily scroll through a channel's results and easily identify which topics have performed better than the rest. Now we can now easily find recent uploaded topics that are currently trending. We can now easily find recently uploaded topics that are doing much better than the rest. Okay, one more thing. But now when we go back to that Canva video right here and we open it up,
Baby's zijn
we can also see when channels have changed their titles or thumbnails in their videos. So on this particular video, we can see that the original title has been changed once. Now this not only applies to the titles, but also to the thumbnails. For example, if I go to one of my own videos, when I go to one of my own videos right here on my own channel, I can see that I changed the title twice. For example, when I go to one of my own videos right here, you can see that I changed the title once, but I also changed the thumbnail. The original thumbnail I made was this one with a frog, but then the same day I decided to change it to this one. This feature allows us to see what other creators have tested in the past, which we can then use as inspiration for our own titles and thumbnails. If we notice that a certain title of someone else didn't perform well, we can avoid making the same mistake. And again, this gives us another way to spy on our competitors and learn from them using vidIQ. Now going back to the channel called ASAP Guide, I think there are a lot of videos on this. Now going back to the channel called ASAP Guide, I think this one has a lot of topics that I could use for inspiration for my own channel. So what I can do right now is of course subscribe to the channel to track their progress. So what I can now do is of course subscribe to the channel and track their progress manually, but can also what I can now do is of course subscribe to their channel and track their progress manually. But I can also add it to my competitor list inside Vidiq, which is what I want to show you next. So first I'm gonna copy the name of the channel like this. Then I go back to Vidiq right here, and then I go back to Vidiq right here and go to Then I go back to Vidiq right here and then go to competitors. Now in the competitor section is where you can add competitors to your competitor list. So you can always quickly track what kind of videos they're uploading, all within Vidiq. So I just go to search channels right here, paste in the name of the channel, and it's the one right here, so I can click on it. Now we successfully added the competitor to the list. Now I can enable all the channels right here to track their progress. So for example, I can disable myself. Then I can select the channel I have right here and disable myself, and then for example filter on views per hour, uploaded this last month. Now within Vidiq I can see which videos have performed the best. Now this is a really useful tool, especially when you have tens of competitors that you add to this list, which you can all track all at once without going over them manually hand by hand. I can now stay up to date on what they're doing without manually. I can stay up to date on what they're doing, and I can click. I can now stay up to date of what they're doing and click on any of the videos, for example this one.
So Google just released a bunch of new AI tools that we can use.
I use this information to create my own content targeting similar keywords.